What's up, Caps fans? Here we are back with a surprise video drop to break up the summer months for you. As it stands, at the time of this recording, we are about 1 month away now from the NHL preseason. And I don't know about you guys, but I sure am starting to miss hockey. And so I thought that this would be a perfect time for a potential opening night lineup video for our Washington Capitals. And as you can see here, I have got my preferred lines, at least to start the season, up on the screen here for you guys. We're going to talk about them here. I just want to preface this, however, by saying that these lines here are in no particular order. Okay, it's not like line one, line two, line three, and line four. These are in no particular order. Okay, and I say that because, like, for example, I don't think that anyone really thinks that like a 41-year-old Alex Ovechkin, for example, is going to be playing top line minutes this season necessarily. So yeah, these lines here, they are in no particular order, but I just want to go through here what some possible line combinations could look like for our Washington Capitals on opening night of the 2026-2027 season. And so, of course, our Washington Capitals, they have a bunch of new players here coming in for this upcoming season. And so a lot of these line combinations are going to depend on the chemistry that certain guys can develop amongst one another, right? And so we will kind of just have to see how that all unfolds, right? As we go through the first bit of the season here, see who develops chemistry with whom. But at least as a starting point here, like the key for me at least to this whole thing for my line combinations here is that I really wanted to keep that Protas, Wilson line together that we saw at the end of last season. That 700-pound line that was just literally dominating everybody. So yeah, that was really the key to this whole thing for me, was that I really wanted to keep that line Protas, and Wilson together. And then I just kind of filled out the rest of these lines based on that line, Protas, Wilson, starting the season together. And I also, of course, wanted to make sure that I actually did have Ilya Protas playing his correct natural position of center, as so many of the projections that I have seen over this offseason for the Washington Capitals line combinations from a bunch of these mainstream media sites, NHL.com and others, they have Ilya Protas and a number of other guys as well playing the incorrect positions, not their natural positions, right? So I really wanted to make sure here that I was putting Ilya Protas in his correct position here to start the season, and the position that, you know, he played when he was called up from the Hershey Bears at the end of last season as well, and where he looked very dominant already with the Washington Capitals up with the big club. Like I said, at the end of last season, he really looked dominant already playing center at the NHL level. So yeah, Ilya Protas at center, in between, obviously, his big brother, Alexei Protas, on the left wing, and then Tom Wilson on the right wing, that 700-pound line, like we said. I really want to see Spencer Carberry stick with that line, at least to start this season, because they were, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned already, they were literally dominating everybody to end last season. And then I kept Alex Ovechkin and Dylan Strome together. Obviously, they have played almost all of their time together ever since the Caps acquired Dylan Strome a few years ago, right? They've been very effective together. So yeah, I kept Ovechkin and Strome together, and I put Alex Tuch on their right wing, at least to start here, as I was going back and forth a lot between whether Alex Tuch should be on that line or Jordan Kyrou should be on that line. And to be quite honest, like I said, this is just a projection of opening night lines to start the season, right? We don't yet know who amongst these new guys that the Caps have acquired is going to show chemistry with whom. So you kind of just have to, you know, take this with a grain of salt and just go into the season and see who actually does develop chemistry with whom, right? And yeah, I went back and forth a ton of times here between Alex Tuch and Jordan Kyrou for that spot. So you can flip-flop those two if you want. You can swap them around. I think that's pretty versatile there, as is much of this Washington Capitals lineup here now. But yeah, to start, I've got Alex Tuch there in that spot, really just because I think that Alex Tuch is a guy on that line who can really go and get the puck out of the corners and get it to Dylan Strome, you know, get it into the hands of Strome and Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin, obviously, He's going to be 41 years old going into this season. His birthday's coming up here soon on September 17th. So he will, that little number 40 there, that'll change to a 41. So obviously, Ovechkin, earlier in his career, in the prime of his career, and really throughout most of his career, he was a hellacious forechecker, right? He was a guy who would go in and just drill people down low and get the puck, right? That was something he was always really, really great at. It's not really his forte here now anymore, being 40 years old, 41 years old. He's not really a guy who can really go get that puck out of the corners anymore, at least not consistently, right? Like you can't rely on that. You can't expect him to be doing that every single shift. Alex Tuch, you can. He's a great forechecker. He's a guy who can go in and get pucks out of the corners for those other two guys. And then I have got Pierre-Luc Dubois centering for now. Ryan Leonard, who will be in his second full NHL season here, his sophomore season. Phenomenal rookie season that the kid had. Finished as, one of the top vote getters for the Calder Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year. So I expect him to be really, really good again. Ryan Leonard, you'll remember, like he's played on the right wing so far, but it has come out that Spencer Carberry and he have talked, and Ryan Leonard is totally and completely open to playing on his offside on the left wing. So I would expect to see that at points throughout this season, especially with the Caps having such a surplus now of great right wingers. So yeah, I've got Pierre-Luc Dubois for now here centering Ryan Leonard on the left wing and Jordan Kyrou on the right wing. Pierre-Luc Dubois and Ryan Leonard obviously have a great connection off the ice as well as on the ice, with Ryan Leonard living with Pierre-Luc Dubois in his rookie season. So they've got a great chemistry already. They've proven very effective together on the ice already last season at times when they were paired together. So yeah, they've showed a great chemistry both on and off the ice the times that Spencer Carberry has played them together. And then, like I said, Jordan Kyrou, I like this line here a lot just because Jordan Kyrou, he's a super, super fast skater. Alex Tuch is a fast skater as well, but Jordan Kyrou is literally one of the fastest skaters in the NHL. He has won the NHL's fastest skater competition at the All-Star game, as a matter of fact. So he's got a ton of speed, as does Ryan Leonard, and as does Pierre-Luc Dubois, right? Like those are three very quick men out there. And Jordan Kyrou, obviously, like he's got sick hands. He's got a lot of skill. I think that this could be a really, really fun line to watch here. And obviously Pierre-Luc Dubois doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to digging pucks out, down below the goal line, getting it out front and into the hands of those two guys. Ryan Leonard obviously can absolutely snipe. Jordan Kyrou, he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve as well with the puck. So yeah, I think this could be a really fun line. But like I said, you can pretty much mix and match and swap Alex Tuch and Jordan Kyrou on those top two lines if you choose. And then for the last forward line here, I am not going to call it the fourth line, like I said, but we have got here my guy, Justin Sourdif, centering this line here. Boone Jenner as well can play center. A lot of people, a lot of the mainstream sites, like I said, NHL.com and others, they have had him slotted at center for the Caps. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I do think that the Caps are going to have both Ilya Protas and obviously Justin Sourdif both playing center. I think that they value those two young players a lot. They want them to continue to develop at the center ice position, and they've both shown a lot of promise there for sure. Justin Sourdif last year playing center for the Caps was fucking awesome, to be quite frank with you. So the Caps, did very well in that trade, obviously, for Justin Sourdif, and he really proved himself last season in his first season with our Washington Capitals. Looked great at center, filled in for much of the season for Pierre-Luc Dubois, who was out injured for almost all of last season, right? And Justin Sourdif obviously picked up a lot of that slack, did a lot of that heavy lifting to the best of his abilities in his rookie season in the NHL. So yeah, he's looked great at center. I think he will be at center. He's centering this line here. I've got Boone Jenner playing the left wing on this line, and then Anthony Beauvillier on the right wing. And then moving on to the defense pairings here, this is pretty easy here, to be honest with you. Jacob Chychrun, top pairing, obviously. Left defense, Matt Roy, top pairing, right defense. And then on the second pairing, we have got Cole Hutson, who will be playing his rookie season, right? Like it'll be his first full season with the Washington Capitals. Obviously, he joined them near the end of last season, but he did not, it was not in time to play enough games. He didn't burn his eligibility for that Calder Trophy. So this will be his official rookie season. He is obviously a very promising player for the Washington Capitals. I do think that he's going to see a ton of ice time. He's going to put up a ton of points right away. I think that he, as well as Ilya Protas, are two very under the radar, but should be considered favorites for this season's Calder Trophy. You can write that down that I said that because I think those two are going to be right at the top of a lot of people's list for the Calder Trophy by the end of this season. So Cole Hutson, paired him with another newcomer here, Vinny Desharnais. I think this will be a great pairing for Cole Hutson, as Vinny Desharnais, obviously, he is a scary, scary, scary man out there. 6'7" he is. He's just a scary dude, and he's kind of the perfect guy, stay-at-home defenseman. Perfect guy to pair with a rookie like Cole Hutson, right? Nobody out there is going to be messing with Cole Hutson when he is on the ice with Vinny Desharnais. So like that pairing a lot. And then I've got Marty Farivari with Timothy Liljegren to start the season. You will remember, of course, the defense off the hop here for opening night. It's going to look a little bit different than we originally expected. And that is, of course, because we do have quite a significant injury on the back end to start the season here to Rasmus Sandin. So he will not be available to start the season. He's going to miss probably the first few months of the season, recovering from that knee injury that he suffered pretty close to the end of last season. So long recovery process for that. He's not going to be back for the start of this season, and he will miss probably the first few months. So that's a big loss on the back end right off the bat for the Caps here, not having Rasmus Sandin. And that's why the defense here looks just a little bit different to start the season. And then the goaltending, of course, this one's super easy. Your starter, your number one goaltender is, of course, Logan Thompson. He has been a top two probably goaltender in the National Hockey League over these last two straight seasons, his first two seasons with our Washington Capitals. Absolutely robbed, in my opinion, of, Vezina Trophy nominations here. I do not understand that at all. All of his stats, like I said, were in the top two, top three in the entire NHL for 2 years running now. He has not received a nomination for the Vezina Trophy in either season. So that's a bit of bullshit. But Logan Thompson, solid as ever between the pipes. Nothing to worry about there. And then backing him up will be, of course, Charlie Lindgren. I don't love this, to be honest. I do wish, I'll go on record as saying that I do think that, not that I wish because I love Charlie Lindgren, but I do think that they should have traded him this offseason in order to not have to place Clay Stevenson on waivers. They were able to sneak Clay Stevenson through waivers last season, at the beginning of last season. They had to keep him on their NHL roster for like an extra month, you'll remember, in order to do so, in order to sneak him through waivers. So we'll see what tricks they have up their sleeve there this season, if they can pull that off again. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to get Clay Stevenson through waivers. So I don't love this. I probably would have traded Lindgren if it was up to me in order to be able to keep Clay Stevenson. But we'll see if the Caps have anything up their sleeve there. But yeah, for now, we're looking at Charlie Lindgren backing up Logan Thompson. And then the extras that you would have with this lineup, you would be able to carry 2 extra forwards and 1 extra defenseman. So that's really good. I had my extras as Ivan Miroshnichenko and Ethan Frank as far as forwards go. And then I had Justin Hull as the extra defenseman. So again, you can play around with that any way that you like, but that fits very nicely under the salary cap. So those are my extras, Miroshnichenko, Frank, and Hull. So, Caps fans, what do you think of this lineup. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? I'm sure everyone's going to have their own thoughts and opinions, right? Like I said, you can play with this lineup a whole lot here. Spencer Carberry is going to have a ton of flexibility with this lineup. He's got a ton of options. There are many guys in this lineup who are very versatile, can play multiple positions. So this, like I said, it's just a starting point here to be taken with a grain of salt. But I do think that this is probably pretty close to what it's going to look like, at least to start this season. So you guys let me know in the comment section what you think of this lineup. Is this lineup a playoff team? I think they definitely are. Is this lineup a legitimate Stanley Cup contender when Rasmus Sandin gets back and is healthy? That changes, of course, the look of the back end a bit. What do you guys think? Like, is this a Stanley Cup contending lineup here? Drop me your lineups in the comment section as well. I would love to hear your guys' lineups and what you guys think and who you think should be playing together, at least to start this season here. So let me know what you guys, see here as far as line combinations. What would you guys do if you were the coach of this team? This, like I said, is just my opinion here. So yeah, drop me your comments. Let me know what you think. Love to hear everyone's opinions here on what they think the Washington Capitals lineup should look like come opening night. And as always, babes, do not forget to click on that subscribe button if you have not already done so. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I'm kind of in a competition here right now with someone close to me who also has a YouTube channel to see who can get to 500 subscribers first. I don't want to say that I'm going to lose a lot if I lose that competition, but I am going to lose a lot. So you guys click on that subscribe button if you have not already done so. Share us around with any fellow Caps fans who you may know. We appreciate that so much. We appreciate you all so much for watching. As always, that goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I always say it. Yeah, really just appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for leaving your comments, your likes, everything. Really appreciate that so much. And as always, babes, let's go Caps.